channel and welcome to my vacation. It took 2 days to get here. We're in the upper peninsula of Michigan, right here in Little Traverse Bay. It is a gem on Lake Superior because it is protected from the big waves on the other side of the peninsula. Sandy beaches, cold, clear water, beautiful. And many years ago, I picked up 2 Hobie Adventure Islands from the West Coast rep. These are the singles. I don't believe they make these anymore. Some of the parts and pieces have failed. I've kind of cobbled together solutions from the local hardware store, and the wind usually picks up here in the afternoon, and they're just the perfect craft. So here we go. The red one's in a little better condition than the yellow one. We've got the sail. You can pedal these, you can sail these. I am not a skilled sailor. This is about the perfect level of sailing for me, where worst case scenario, I can pedal or paddle back to safety, or if the wind dies. If you've never seen these on the water or never tried one, it is just a complete hoot. It's like the ultimate entry into kind of understanding wind and sailing. Every year I kind of put these back together. I have to remind myself how they all work. Basically, you've got the Hobie flipper pedal drive. You've got a large dagger board. Got 2 outrigger here, Yamas, that'll keep us stable. We've got the sail. You control everything by 2 lines here. We can bring the sail in. I know there's always terminologies, what, reef the sail or extend it. And you've got rudder controls on the handle here. So once we get out there, we can catch the wind and see what's happened. So yeah, I've found a fair amount of spots that have broken, but amazingly, these boats are really engineered well. These lines have held up for like a decade. Did broke a little pad eye here, which I kind of finagled with some screws. Over here on my yellow one, this has probably been my biggest challenge, which I'm sure I could get this part from Hobie, but the rudder pin broke. It was plastic. I found a nail in our shed up here, and this nail's gonna do the trick. Put a little tape there so you don't cut yourself, and then just a little tape here so it doesn't slide out, and that goes right through there. So this boat will be serviceable. I'll probably ride this one when my kids are in the other one. It's nice to have 2 in case somebody would get into trouble, because this is a big lake and the water's cold here. This bay is pretty well protected, so I feel pretty well, you know, that I'm gonna stay in close until I feel comfortable with all the equipment. First step is just to see if my rudder will go down. Oh, it goes. Okay. And it's steering, so that's good. Now I'm gonna get these pedals in. We're in shallow water here, so I usually secure this dagger board to something. I should probably do that quickly. There it is, it clicked in. All right, here we go. Now this little bay, the water is slightly warmer because it's shallow in here, but when you get out there, you really should be dressed for immersion. I'm not, but I don't plan to get out there too far. All right, let's see if we can. Here we go, we're pedal powering. Beautiful point out that way with really cool cliffs and rocks. Crystal clear water. Did you guys think you'd see me pedaling? Rudder's working good, so that test is good. I am gonna adjust the pedals. Here's how that works. There's just a little lever. I think my kids were in it last. You just make it a little further out there. I really hope Hobie kind of gets back to this kind of craft. I think the fishing thing really took over, which is great for many who are into that, but a lot of people would really love this. And we're out. All right, now I'm gonna start trying to fiddle and see if I set this thing up right by putting the sail out. I think we're deep enough, so we'll, whoops, get my rudder cable out of the way, slide the dagger board in, there we go. Still using that rudder control just to keep myself out there, and let's see what happens here. Little jam cleat there. All right, cool. We're under motion. How cool is this? I guess, I don't think I'll ever get rid of these. I mean, I'm chilling and moving. I can tighten the sail just by pulling. I can let out more. So this black line here really becomes kind of my control. Made a little mistake here. This is if I want to bring in the sail, and then you kind of just use this rudder to really find the sweet spot where the wind catches. All right, now we're moving. We're really moving nicely. It would be so cool to load this up with a couple nights camping and just cruise Lake Superior in one of these. I'd have to do some maintenance to this boat. As you can see, it's kind of rusted out a little bit, or not rusted, but just the bungees are worked. This is a good bay cruiser now. I've been seeing videos about how pedal power is done over and all the fishermen are going motorized. And, you know, if I'd had a motor sitting under a tarp all winter in northern Michigan, it wouldn't just be able to pull out under a tarp and go. I grew up along the Mississippi River where we had motorized boats. And even after a couple weeks of not being at this cabin that we had there, the motors would never start. And that's really what got me into paddling, is my dad would be fiddling and swearing at motors, and I would just jump into a kayak and go. And that simple elegance is what I still just love. I'm not really that mechanical of a person, and you can just pull a kayak out or pull a pedal drive out and go. And after a year of just sitting under a tarp, snow, wind, ice, this thing is ready to go. And we've been doing this for about 10 years or more straight. No way a motor would hold up to that. Okay, this is the part I always have to remind my kid as we get into the shallower waters. Pull the dagger board up, like that. Then I'm gonna pull the sail in. Gotta make sure that this line stays loose. And I've got something going on here. There we go. That's probably pretty good for current purposes. So now I've got the dagger board out. I can pedal myself in. And then as I get even closer, I'll have to pull the foot pedals apart like this so that they don't drag, or even just pull them out all together, which is probably what I'll do here. All right, so now I'm pretty much just under pedal power. Still rudder steering. There's that beautiful clear water. And look who's there to greet me, Paxton. And there's my other boy, Chase. Best 1800 I've ever spent.
The sauna's over here. We spread the well.
Oh. So this is a real Finnish country up here in the Upper Peninsula. And this is the deal. Ice cold water, sauna. So this one's a wood fire.
He threw in the bucket, which is such a cute little bucket.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Oh, this is... Could move it around.
They had a demo, it was for Sauna Fest. And he said there were all these guys who were into the cold plunge rate.
Yeah.
So they jacked it up to 200 and then they just kept going
Doing
in
it.
and out.
Super cool. What a great addition. So no real home, but a sauna. Priorities are right. All right, we're back out with a little more wind. Let's see if we can get out there and catch some faster winds. So basically we use this line to tighten the sail up a little bit. You can kind of feel all of a sudden things get moving. There we go. It's funny, you do this for a little bit and it's hard to get back to paddling because you're just covering water with minimal effort. That feeling of just effortless glide that you get in a nice long fast sea kayak is multiplied in one of these. They do have their top speed. You know, you definitely, if it gets going full speed, it's just kind of bogged down displacement style. But we've got a nice breeze. This is just like perfect, chill, nothing to worry about. If it really gets blowing, I end up having to pull the sail in some. It just gets to be a little much to handle. But we're moving nice. Hope you all love just a little different adventure here. All right, so we're just kind of going across wind here. I'm gonna get out a little bit, and then I'm gonna tack back right now. So this is where I find these things so great, is I'm gonna steer, bring it around, doing this one-handed so it doesn't, but right there, kind of don't have the wind, and this is where the pedal thing is so nice for me, especially one-handed, until I get turned the other way, and then boom. But there's not much wind coming this way right now, so we'll just enjoy a slower ride. Got a nice angle going upwind. Cruising. Still could probably try to play with catcher in a little more wind.